Hey, this is Zoe Williams of the Voice of Reason and Zoe What Morning Shows here at Dash Radio. Listen, everybody on YouTube, you guys have been a tremendous support for my shows, and I appreciate everybody for tuning in every week and, participating. But I'm serious than a mug. We need your help on the GoFundMe campaign. We really want to do the VOR radio network, and I'm asking you personally, each and every one of you, we're over nearly 24,000 strong here on the channel. We need you to support by donating. Just click that little button down there and it'll take you directly to the GoFundMe campaign. It's gofundme.com/Zoe Williams. Anything you can do is greatly appreciated. It continues our movement. It continues our forward progress. And I appreciate you all who have already donated. If you can do it again, I thank you so much. Thanks again. Zoe What? I'm out.
I'm Zoe Williams, the voice of reason. If your relationship is in trouble, I'm the dude to call. Has your soulmate become your cellmate? Does black love still exist? What are your bedroom turnoffs? Fantasies and fetishes. Financial infidelity. I'm dating a fat person. Are they worth the wait? Trust me, this gonna be crazy.
How about the heavy stuff?
The child wasn't his, and he still had to pay child support.
It's a very heated topic.
How was that right?
Mama's baby, daddy's maybe.
I just have so many questions I want to ask you.
I just like to kiss a woman's ass. Is there something wrong with that?
Damn.
He told me he had a vasectomy. I'm pregnant.
Betrayal has been committed.
Hit you with the bad pipes routine.
How does he maintain his humposity?
He likes it when it pinches my neck.
Why can't you open up, brother?
I'm a karate man. Karate man rules on the inside. They don't show their weaknesses.
Yeah.
How do you write women so well?
Zoe Williams,
Reason and accountability.
the voice of reason. Drop that fire, Daniel. Yeah, hump day, Wednesday. It was a lot of humping that created the problems that exist for us right now. For today's topic, I'm telling you, man, we got an incredible topic on deck for you today. Listen, don't be afraid to have the conversations that Zoe would like to have. Don't be afraid. These are the conversations that grow people up in life. Don't you want to grow up? Or do you want to continue in life as an adult child? No one wants to be an adult child. So let's have adult conversations. Hey, Tiffany in the building. What's happening?
That Uber life. That's what happened.
Hey, sometimes, listen, Ubers make people feel like they're in a chauffeur.
Man, and we all know I don't like to drive, so.
Even if the car stinks, you're still being driven.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, the voice of reason is live on the air. I'm Zoe Williams, a.k.a. the VOR. Man, we got an incredibly heated topic today.
Oh, man.
Shit.
Man. I was like, I got to make this one.
I be tripping. We got another sister who went to go park. It's difficult parking back here, so up in Hollywood, that's why you Ubering. That's why it makes more sense, right?
Yes.
So she's looking for parking right now.
Ooh, sorry.
But before I even get to the topic, you already know how I get down. Frank, we got websites to pull up. I don't know if you guys have seen my new website, but when I tell you that new website is Ice La Fox, it's pretty damn fly. And I got a couple of things that I need major support on. Number one, man, click the shop button at IamZoeWilliams.com. Now she's locked out. Can we send somebody to open the door for her, please? I got stuff I need you guys to support. Number one, my 50% Tupac plus 50% Deepak equals 100% Zoe What t-shirt. Listen, I'm only getting 5 dozen made. 2 dozen of that are going to be double XLs because those are the ones that sell the quickest and the fastest. Just don't play yourself. They'll be here on Tuesday of next week.
Limited edition is what you're saying.
Limited edition. 50% Tupac, 50% Deepak, 100% So What t-shirts. Man, go to my website, click shop, and you'll see apparel. The second and the third thing I want you to do is when you click shop, Frank, show them how to do it. Put that big ass finger right there on the shop. Let me show you. I want you to click books. Number 1, The Relationship Dismount. How to Stick the Landing When Exiting a Toxic Relationship is Selling Out. It's almost gone. Physical copies. Of course, you can get your iTunes. Put up the iTunes logo, Frank. iBooks, I guess. Google Play. You can get your digital life on. Kindle. You can do that. But if you want a physical book, yes.
You can make notes and write in it. And
you can highlight it.
Yeah.
Man, there's nothing like having a book in your hand. There's only 185 copies left. IamZoeWilliams.com. That's the first book you need to get. The second book you can't get just yet, but you can pre-order it now. The follow-up to The Relationship Dismount, The Holographic Relationship. A deeper look into the union between consciousness, God, and intimacy.
I'm going to read it, I swear.
Oh, my God.
I pre-ordered.
Did you?
Well, I'm about to today. Now that I see the link, it wasn't even there before.
It's ridiculous right now.
I swear it wasn't there
Pre-order
before.
your copy of the book right now. One other thing I got to promote, blackspot.com. It's a new socially conscious, it's like a black Facebook, for lack of a better word, right? Black, BLAQ, spot.com. I'm on there. People have been joining me all week or adding. Is it joining me or adding me? It's adding, right? Mm-hmm. I don't know the technology or the terminology. But I have a little page on here, and the brother and sister out of Houston, I think they're a married couple that put this thing together, where we can go and do our own social media life together. I like it. BLAQSPOT.com, blackspot.com. And then another thing I have, and then we're going to get right into the topic. So I don't even know if y'all ready to get down with the get down, but you better be ready because the get down is real. Soul of the Desert. People been asking, man, like, who is Veronica Conway? Like, who is she? She's never physically on the show. Nobody seems to be able to find her, right? She's been on the show for years. No one has ever seen her except for some weird little picture of her. So people are like, where is she? Who is she? What is she about? Well, Soul of the Desert, her and I are doing a relationship workshop together. She'll be live in the flesh. Veronica Conway and Zoe Williams together in person June 9th through the 11th. It's on and cracking. It's going to be yoga and weird, healthy shit to eat. You know, vegan shit. It's going to be all types of healing and praying and crystals and shit. It's going to be a lot of shit going on. And I think you guys should support the movement. Let me break it down for you right now. There's a number to call. The number to dial is, I don't want to give out the man's personal. I was about to just blow it. It was about to be all bad, but fuck it. Here we go. The number to dial to get information is area code 760-979-0086. That's area code 760-979-0086. Soul of the Desert. Go to www.soulofthedesert.us. I will be there in the flesh. Joshua Tree. Everybody loves Joshua Tree, man. It's really nice. Come, connect, commune, and change with like-minded people. It's going to be dope. Workshop, me, Veronica Conway. That's what it is. Now, Right on cue. The beat changed, and it's time to get busy. Don't be scared of this conversation. As a matter of fact, one of our guests suggested it to me. And I was like, I could smoke a bag of that. I could create a topic out of nowhere. Get this shit popping. Today's topic on The Voice of Reason, don't be afraid, the biracial show. The LIE racial, not biracial. Maybe it should be called the triracial. You trying to be some shit you ain't. The biracial show, man. The skin I'm in doesn't fit how I feel inside. Wow. The great race swap show. Oh, Jesus. What's her name? Rachel Dolezal. She done opened up a can of whoop ass, man. Everybody got to talk about this now. Can you just give up on your race and be some other shit? Rachel Dolezal has ignited a discussion many people didn't even know we needed to have. Is it possible to be transracial? That shit sounds a lot like transgender. Are transracial people trying to get under the LBGT shit community, right? Their strategy is what I'm saying. They got their strategy from the civil rights movement.
Right.
So are transracial motherfuckers trying to use black people again? Indirectly. Fuck it. I'm going to use your struggle to turn into you. Oh, God. This is crazy. I got questions, and then I'll introduce the ladies. True or false? Your melanin makes you black, but black is not a race. It's a color and a culture. Oh, God, this is about to get bad. Oh, God, you different from your country, right? True or false?
True.
Every time you ask somebody's race, they tell you where they're from. I'm 50% German. Is that even possible? How can you be half of a nation? We gotta have a conversation. True or false? Race, trans race, gender, transgender, and religion fueled events are being orchestrated to distract our mental ascension and attention against the current attack against all American civilians' minds. That's a heavy question. Here's a simple one. If your mama is white and your daddy is black, what race are you? 323-230-4610. We want to know. You confused out there, ain't you? What determines your race if you're mixed? And are white people mixed? Oh, shit. Here we go. I'm just going to stop with the questions and turn it over to our august panel. The homegirl from Shaw Talk TV.
Hey now.
Tiffany Shaw on the Gemini side of the game.
Yes, the best side of the game. Whoa.
Flip the mental shit. Let's get in here, mental. Welcome back to The Voice of Reason.
Thanks. I'm glad to be back. I like to be here.
Yes. We enjoy your company as well. And then there is a new, beautiful,
very beautiful
sunflower in this motherfucker. Whoa. Sarah.
Yes.
Sarah, could you tell them why you thought this was a great topic to bring to my attention?
Absolutely. I was on social media and I saw a little snippet of Mrs. Dolezal. Am I pronouncing her name correctly? I have no idea.
Doesn't matter.
She's
not a real person. That's whack. I'm sorry.
And a lot of my friends brought it to my attention. They're laughing about her response because she claims she's black, even though she was born a white woman. So I felt the need to maybe expand this conversation a little bit past social media and really get to the root of of the essence of what it means to be Black, about race in general, especially in this society where we have, comments about being in a post-racial society from certain people. So I think it's important to address this, and as well as this, maybe just shut down this idea of transracialism, because I personally don't agree with it.
I don't agree with it either.
Neither do I. So let's go.
But
let's go.
Tiff, you're biracial.
I am, which is why she's so upsetting to me.
If biracial is in fact a thing.
Right. I mean,
go deeper.
One, let's accept that like the greater argument is that race in general is like socially constructed, but even if it is, we're living within that construct and there's still rules to it. And so generally speaking, for our society, or at least American society, yeah, like my dad is Black, or my sperm donor, as I refer to him, and my mom is white. And yeah, my mom, like first generation German, blah, 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 like whatever.
So that German shit would hit home, huh?
Yeah, and no, like, I don't know nothing about nothing European in my life. Neither does my family. So womp womp, like, they think they're from Germany. I don't know. No, I mean, they really were first generation German immigrants, but that don't really mean anything to me. So, but in that regard, like, to be biracial, to know that I genuinely, was raised by, like, my all-white family. So culturally, I said, until I was like 18, I was like culturally white until I made a conscious effort to really find out what being Black meant to me.
Say more.
And defining that.
Say more. What does culturally white mean? Go deeper.
Well, specifically, and that's why she upsets me so much, is like, even if I walk into a job interview and I'm like, I'm white because my mom is white and my name is, German, and I speak a certain way, and that indicates certain things to you culturally, it doesn't take away the fact that when you see my skin, that has implications historically in our country, that likely means I'm going to be discriminated against whether I like it or not. No matter how white I think I am, the world still sees my melanin first.
Mm-hmm.
Let me ask you, do you know a bunch of biracial people who side with white, the white side, because if there's a white side, Jesus, right? The fuck, I'm flustered. But you understand what I'm saying? Like, they side with the white parent and the white parent's culture because they feel like that's the better way to get through society. They try to pass.
Right. So thankfully, no, because I really only know 2 biracial people who tend to like prefer to be white, or like are naive or ignorant to their Blackness. And to be honest, it's a huge disadvantage, because just because you don't acknowledge like a certain rapper that you've been discriminated against because of your color doesn't mean it didn't happen. But just your lack of awareness of it just disadvantages you to not acknowledging it or your ability to overcome it. So if you don't acknowledge that you're being discriminated against, doesn't mean you're not being. Like, there's just opportunities you missed out on and just didn't know why, or even that they were there. So like, my brother is biracial as well, but he tends to he genuinely hates Black people. I'll just say it. Like, he doesn't like Black people.
Oh, wow.
But he's Black!
Yeah, but he would prefer you not remind him.
Why? Why is that?
So, I mean, his story is greater, and like, he's adopted. He's really my cousin, and like, he really lived like the foster care story and being adopted by my mom and trying to give him a better life. And I think for him to he had a really bad experience in foster care with Black people.
And you said
Black
it.
side of the family.
But wait, you said it.
So he just tends to go towards white because in his head, like, that's safer, better, less discrimination, like less drama for him. But again, just because he pretends he's not doesn't mean he isn't. So he still experiences the same amount of discrimination, being pulled over by police all the time, just having legal issues because he's Black. So again, just neglecting that you're Black doesn't stop you from being Black. And that's why this Rachel lady makes me so upset, because on the flip side, specifically white to Black, it's not like white people haven't historically already acculturated us and raped us of our culture and monopolized on it and monetized it. But now, she can still utilize and activate her white privilege to still benefit from Black culture.
Which in turn means that she really doesn't have a Black experience. So
At
for
all.
her to call herself a Black woman totally misses the point. It's completely contradictory.
Yeah, well, like a walking hypocrisy, like the most blatant walking hypocrisy.
And it's insulting. As a Black woman, I grew up in the South. I grew up in North Carolina, and I have faced plenty of racism. I've had white little boys calling me the N-word to my name. I've told on them. I've tried to tell authorities. But growing up in the South, I mean, they're not really listening. They don't really care, at least from my experience. And to go through that and to go through a period of self-hate, of straightening my hair all the time. Right now it's super curly because I've grown to love it. But as a kid, I didn't know any better. I mean, and there were no role models. I mean, thank God we're starting to see more role models in television and film and in positions of power. Most notably Barack Obama, Michelle Obama's a first lady, and, doctors, lawyers, they're coming up. But growing up, I didn't see as much. So I didn't have the privilege to kind of fall back, as Rachel Dolezal is claiming as a Black woman, to fall back on some sort of privilege with my skin color. I had to experience being Black since I was Black. Since I was born.
Right.
For her, she didn't have to deal with being Black since she was born. And that's where the difference lies.
I mean, and it's amazing because this motherfucker went to Howard University.
Right.
Sure did.
And then sued Howard University
Yes.
for discrimination for not having enough resources for white folk. She identified as white while she was at Howard University, a historically Black college, at HBCU. And
She's
then
basically
later,
professionally made her profession exploiting Black people for liking Black people. Like, if you look at her history, like, that's how we caught her. She was like a president of a chapter of the NAACP.
Spokane, Washington.
Right. And my thing was, I was looking at some of the pictures in her transition. Like, it's so, people are like, oh, it's beautiful because she tanned and she permed her hair. But that's like during this fad now where it's okay for Black women to wear their hair natural. Mind you, like, what about, I'm 10 years natural, but like Black women told my mom to straighten my hair when I was young. So she's like, well, if a Black lady told me, that's what I do with my mixed baby. So I relaxed my hair till I was 19 because some Black lady told my mom to do it. She was like, I trust the Black people. They must know better than her. Like, little did she know, like, that's just putting terrible chemicals on your head. But,
that's crazy.
What if the phase wasn't to be natural? Is Rachel going to relax her hair and put in some weave? Like, I don't know. Like,
relax.
she really had,
Right.
you know what I'm saying?
What do you mean
Perm
relax?
her hair.
She don't even need to perm her hair. She's white.
It's a mess, right? So just everything about her was just aggravating because when I put the topic up before I came on the show today, and one of my acquaintances was like, oh, is transracial the same as transgender? And I was like, to me, if you know the history of what race means in our country, if you understand the transgender movement in general and what that means, absolutely not.
Wow.
Do not compare the two. They're not comparable. And if you try to, she's like, I read some stuff and it kind of sounds like they are. I'm like, well, you didn't read enough then, and you don't understand, because they're just not the same thing at all.
We've got callers. People want to talk about the biracial show. The skin I'm in doesn't fit how I feel inside. You know what? I'm a white man, but there's a little 17-year-old Negroid inside of me, and I want to identify with him. Agree or disagree? Our people of color, no matter how hard we try, we cannot achieve whiteness. But the fact that a white woman can achieve blackness and lie and take this is terrible. And take space and take resources on top of it, be belligerent when confronted, is the epitome of white privilege. True or false? White privilege. God damn. They've taken your identity. How far can you take cultural appropriation? I don't know. Caller, you're on the line. What's your name and where you calling from? Speak on it.
What's going on, Zo, man? This is Chris from Tampa.
Chris from Tampa, speaking that real tonight. What's up, man?
Sir, yes, sir. Man, I had just had this discussion with somebody online, man. I seen somebody was kind of making fun of Rachel, and I just kind of posted the question, like, kind of almost what you said, like, if we're going to let a lot of, I'm not saying everybody, but a lot of people kind of embrace Bruce Jenner, and he was born a man, and he basically used his privilege and his money, to transform himself into what he wanted. And I think it kind of undermines women, honestly, for a man to never have to go through what women go through day to day, but just have the money just to snap his fingers and become a woman. So I think Rachel, she's kind of doing the same thing, but I find it funny how people can embrace, which I don't, Bruce Jenner, and then shun Rachel. And then my second point is, I don't think Black people understand how to use coons, because we complain a lot about a lot of our sellouts and people that, want to be race traders and talk shit about us and work against our best interests. But it seems like when we get somebody that really, you know, they working almost against white supremacy, even though they're doing it in kind of a sly way. Like, we don't have to necessarily embrace her and love her, but if this woman is willing to work against white supremacy in some sort of capacity, I would say let's use her to play both lines and get in there and get some information and do certain things that we can't necessarily do.
No, I get what you're saying. I get what he's saying. Right. It's always good to have a white boy on the team so he can go in there and get the apartment. Use his credit.
I don't want to get it confused as if a white person can do something we can't, because that's not the case. But what I'm saying is, if you're going to have a sellout, keep a little sellout in your back pocket. You never know, because I was in the military, and you would never catch an enemy of the United States if one of us went over there and said, we're going to sell you all our secrets. They're not going to kick you out or say they're going to use you. Now, when they're done using you, they don't give a fuck about you. They don't care about you.
No, you good.
You know, but we don't understand how to play that game. You have to use people. It's a difference between, you know, friends and allies. You can ally with them to get what you need to get at certain points. That's how I feel, man.
Wow. Hey, man, I appreciate the call. Thank you so much for chiming
in.
Anything,
though. All right, bro.
I figured it was you, brother. Caller, you're on the line. What's your name? That was it? You sure? I saw the lights lighting up. You hung up on people? Okay, cool. 323-230-4610. He brought up a good point.
He did, and I feel comfortable speaking to it as someone who's spent a lot of time working with, I have a background in adolescent mental health and working and leading groups with trans youth specifically.
What is trans youth? Go deeper.
Trans youth are adolescents in transition, either chemically or considering to chemically change their gender so that they identify opposite of what they're biologically born. Mm. So most common, that's more obvious for most people, is male to female. That's more obvious. We like to talk about it. It's a lot more shiny. But there's actually a lot more youth out there that are going female to male as well. So it does go both ways. And I actually had the pleasure of working with a lot of youth that actually do quote unquote pass, which is you wouldn't know that they're not biologically what you physically see them represent. So,
man.
Yeah. So, and for them, safety wise, it's better that way, that you don't know, that's not obvious, because they do, you know, trans people in general have a lot of physical, real, safety issues out in the community. So, as someone who's specialized in that and worked in that area, I can tell you very much so. One thing we don't talk about is human beings actually are born a lot of the time, more than doctors will ever tell you, with both parts. So there's a lot of kids out here being born with male and female genitalia. Hermaphrodites, like a lot more, a higher percentage. I meant to look it up before I got here today, but I didn't get a chance to. But and where parents or doctors are just making the choice at birth which one to let go, which set of genitalia to let go, and picking at birth what your child's gender is, and then later on realizing, like, you know,
you picked the wrong one.
They picked the wrong one. Like, your son or daughter really wanted to be a daughter, you know, son, vice versa. And then be mad because you're like, oh, I have a trans youth. But did you ever tell them that even happened, or did the doctor ever tell you? So biologically speaking, in science, it happens a lot more often. And gender is more of a fluid thing. Sexuality is more of a fluid thing than we'd ever like to talk about. Whereas race, especially in the U.S. and how we operate,
it's a social construct.
It's a social construct, but it's very real in how people are treated still. So for her to say, like, especially white to black specifically, for you to say, I want to go from the dominant culture that comes with white privilege specifically, really the only privilege in the United States that does dominate all other minorities. It would be different even if you're like, I want to go Latina to black. Well, minority, I'm not really worried about it because you're not gaining any privilege. But for her to say, like, to do what historically white people have always done in our country, which is appropriate black culture, should be upsetting and infuriating to all people.
But I think there's some business in there too, though.
No, she's professionally made this her business to appropriate black culture and make us pay her for it. Again, she went to an all historically black college, knowing she identified as white at the time, to just later sue them for not having enough resources for white students. But you went to an all black college.
Wow.
98% of all the other colleges in the U.S. are catered to you. So if you wanted those resources, you could have went to 98% of the other colleges, right? But then you want to sue them for not having the resources. Well, wait a minute. This college barely have the resources for
Right.
the black students that are there. Let's just go there for a second. Historically, black colleges, Morris Brown been shut down a few times. Let's
Right.
talk about it.
Right.
Lack of resources in general, but you want me to have white resources. Like, that's all the other colleges.
Wow.
And then to move on, and she still to this day plays the victim of, why should it matter I'm not black at the NAACP? Because at some point you switched checking the box and knew that you wouldn't be treated the same
And
if
she
you
had
identified
articles
differently.
written about her where they claimed that she was first biracial
Right.
and then that she was a black woman. And she went on she spoke with Matt Lauer and said, I purposefully did not correct those publications.
Right.
So people are putting out false things. You're deceiving the public. You're deceiving the people who are counting on you. And that's my issue also. It's like, why did you lie? Why did you lie? Well, first off, why would you do this in the first place? Right. And then when given the opportunity to correct yourself, you stuck with it. So that just sounds super mischievous. It's self-indulgent and it's completely insensitive to black women and black people in general.
It's fucking evil.
Yes.
And it's crazy. Why can't we Jeff Brown always says, why can't we just, instead of naming shit different complex names, let's call it what it is. Good old fashioned crazy.
Yeah,
Right.
Agreed.
This motherfucker woke up one day and said, I'm black.
Right. And for me, I haven't really heard of too many other people wanting to go from white to black. I mean, this is one of the first, other than cultural appropriation,
Right.
but like the full-on transition of like making other than like blackface, but that was also just to make a mockery of black
What
people.
about-
So that doesn't even really count. But like obviously with the suntan, but to this extent, to the Rachel Dolezal extent, to claim a term transracialism, this is just a new low, in my opinion.
Well, for her, again, one, I don't think she means it. But two, it's a monetary thing. I think we're doing a disadvantage to even have a conversation, to be honest about it, and put her name on it, because that's exactly what she wants. She's made a career out of, again, not only appropriating our culture, but monetizing it for herself to some extent. Because again, this isn't new. How I was born was out of this general concept that this brown skin is pretty. I want to have a brown baby. That's all my mom knew. And that was sweet. Like, brown skin is beautiful. That's cute, mama. But you don't understand all of the other implications that come with having a multiracial child in general, But, so it's not new. People tan, people, the boxer braids, like, that's just cornrows. People get it together. But, to appropriate our cultures, that's not new. But the fact that she has monetized it, and what she is trying to encapsulate as like to support us in the movement, like you said, there's always been white people in the civil rights movement. There's always been white people sitting, on the front lines and sitting at the counters with us, and I always say like white and down, like down with the movement. But she really is trying to say she wants us to acknowledge she's black as well. Like, but you're not.
So watch this. Now we're about to get down to the meat and potatoes of it. If you have melanin, and I'm about to say a word, we got to grab that caller. If you have melanin, please forgive the word I'm about to use. You're black. Regardless of your nationality.
Right.
See, because I think that's why nationality and then on top of that, race was created. Because this is how you segregate people, create towns, cultures. Do you think, like for instance, you go back to the Palestinians and the Arabs and all of those people and say, okay, what kind of people are those? Well, they're Arab. Well, hey, fuck, the word Arab is a verb.
Right.
So who are they ethnically? Well, they're Arabs. Okay, who are those other people they fighting? Oh, those are Jews. Well, what is that?
Right.
Like, what is that, an ethnicity or is that a nationality?
Or a religion.
Or a religion. Where are we?
Ouch.
You see what I'm saying? People, and I think these constructs are designed to keep people just in the dark about, first off, who the fuck you are.
Right.
Because what if the whole world, all 7 billion motherfuckers woke up and realized the 1% that rules all of this shit is really the minority on this little blue rock.
Absolutely.
I'm talking about them Samoan niggas, because y'all niggas. right?
Any melanin. That's what I'm
them
saying.
Polynesians, them Indians, y'all niggas too. Hindu niggas, y'all niggas.
Even Asian.
Asian just mean East. You know how you can tell? Watch porn. I know it sounds crazy to the motherfucker. Watch porn. You know why I say that?
Why?
Scientifically proven. Your genitalia is more melanated than any part of your body. It's concentrated
there's
there.
no way I would have ever known that. Thank you, so. My new tidbit for the day. There's no way I would have known that.
Look at an Asian yoni. Oh, yeah. Come on home, sugar bear.
In my head, I just have like a recent reference to that. So I was like, okay.
I'm not trying to be funny. I'm just saying, like,
oh.
When you start looking at the genetics of it, nobody wants to talk about genetics. They want to talk about nationality. This is how they keep you kind of off-centered here. China, some of the most proud, racially proud motherfuckers in the world.
Right.
Nigga, goddammit, we Chinese. We don't believe the out of Africa shit. We believe in the Peking man.
Right.
Okay. And one of the motherfuckers got brave enough to do his own research and found out that 90% of the billion plus motherfuckers over there, African descent.
Yes.
Pygmies.
Hurt his own feelings.
So what happened, like I said, I had a conversation the other day with a dude from India. I'm Bengali. Nigga, that's an idea. That's a word. I'm Bangladeshi. Same shit.
Right.
Take the name off. Where are you from? India. Okay, cool.
Well, even more recently, there was like research from that same research. They were trying to, is race real? Obviously, no. Okay, like if this is new news to you, you read anything else. So, but the newer research was, and it won't be highly publicized because, white privilege specifically in the U.S. won't allow it. But they were saying essentially melanin is natural. 90% of the world's people populated from Africa. It's just proven. But that Caucasian, white, however you want to refer to it, European descent, that part of the continent, like being Caucasian was a defect from being away from the sun, not having enough sun. So really, like, Caucasian is the minority because it's a defect. It's not the natural way our bodies were meant to be. So there's a lot of research, but you have to kind of dig to find it. It's really recent as of like 2014 to now,
right,
in regards to saying that like that isn't the dominant. It's actually a default, a defect.
Damn.
Like a mutation
Well,
to survive without sun.
Yeah, they call it a recessive gene.
Yes.
You got brown eyes, boy. You got a great granddaddy from Africa somewhere? Probably. Yeah.
Absolutely, yes.
You better own that shit, my nigga. Caller! You're on the line. What's your name and where you calling from? Welcome to the Voice of Reason. Speak on it. Caller? Okay, cool. Caller, you're on the line. What's your name and where you calling from? Welcome to the Voice of Reason.
Hey, what's going on, fam?
What's happening, PM?
This is PNP Photography, so I met you at the Million Man March, black man.
You underdig out there rapping?
Big time. Hang out with Corey every chance I get when he come in town. I got a question for you, Zoe.
Speak on it.
I've read and heard Dr. Ray Hagee always talk about melanin.
Mm-hmm.
They say everybody has melanin, but it's certain levels of melanin. Is that true?
Yes, that is true. Okay. Certain levels.
Okay.
I mean, we have a white engineer in here right now, and he has different ethnicities and nationalities mixed in with him. But you can see the dominant traits. Brown eyes.
Got you.
Come on now.
Brown hair.
Okay.
Brown hair.
Hey, love the show, bro. Love the show. Holler at you later.
Welcome, man. Hey, I need to know, what are some real issues, like mixed kid problems?
Ooh. Wait, who else? Anybody else mixed?
Wait. Yeah. I'm about to rearrange the whole seating so we can get Whitney. Whitney just joined. Let me turn the camera over to Whitney.
Oh, gosh.
Whitney just joined the show.
Hey, ooh. What's poppin'? Voice of Reason. I miss you guys so much. I miss y'all that I left my job to come here.
Hey.
Because I love y'all and I miss y'all so much. What's good, man? I'm excited. Wild Child is back. And I'm hella mixed, okay?
Yeah.
Super mixed. I'm having a mixed girl hair day right now. That's why shit's looking a little sketchy. So I'm proud of my nappy hair, y'all. So don't play me. I also like the little weird white girl shit I got going on sometimes. So don't hate on your girl.
That one random straight one that
Right,
popped
I'm
out.
like,
Where you
really?
come from?
Shout out to Grandma Lee with the one little straight hair. You feel me? But yes, I'm excited. I slid through like, somebody's nigga in them DMs. You feel me? I'm here. We in here.
Hey, would you sit in between a white granny's legs and let her braid your hair?
Oh, I've been there.
I wish my white granny knew how to braid hair, though.
Oh, man,
my mom
I got a
thought
story.
she was the business when she learned how to French braid. That was the life, though. Yeah, no.
So I'm opposite. I don't know your name, my
Tiffany,
lady.
yeah.
Tiffany Shaw.
Tiffany was popping.
Sarah.
Hey, Sarah. Look, we got a bunch of white girl
Whitney.
names. Look at us. All
Wait a
this
minute.
chocolate with all these.
Sarah. It's a biblical name.
I don't get what you. Come on. You
Like, unless it's
S-A-R. I know only
S-A-R-I.
3 white Sarahs. You feel me?
Yeah, 2 H's.
It's funny that you said that because my dad is actually white and my mom is black.
See, my ex was that, and I was like, it was the coolest combination to see.
Yeah, we cool. We
Girl
cool.
talk. Anyway.
About the.
But what do you identify as?
A nigga, I am black as shit.
right.
Hello? How does the world identify you? That's one thing that I think black people and mixed people and biracial people need to realize is the world is going to choose for you. Whether or not you want to accept that is your own issue that you probably should get worked out. But the one drop rule is very much in existence. So, hey.
All I know is
powers
when
to
I
people.
first met Whitney, I was like, oh, look at this sister. Oh, hi, yellow. Oh. Yeah. I never thought, look at this white girl. It never came up. It was always, look at this sister.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Always. So that's my thing when it comes to the bi. But I've had a million different stories. I remember my father was like, Mom, he cusses my grandma. You know, white people are sorry, engineer homeboy, but white people are crazy talking to their parents. So my dad.
You shut the fuck up, Mom.
Right?
I'm coming out in a minute. You know I'm in here whacking off.
Like,
you know it's my time.
Okay, John. Yes, that's literally how it goes in some of those households. So my dad is going in on my grandma because I'm sitting there and you do what you're being told. Like, hey, I don't know how everybody else was raised, but you shut up because I'm the adult. And, that's kind of how it was. So I'm sitting there letting my grandma Lee, as white as she can be from Oklahoma, brush my super curly, crazy, you can't even put your finger through it hair.
Right.
And I'm just crying, man. But I can't cry too loud because I'm going to get in trouble for crying probably. So I'm just going to take it. I'm just going to sit there and be like,
damn.
I know I got to get this shit combed out eventually. So, you know what? Just deal with it. My dad walks in and is like, what the hell are you doing to my daughter? She's crying. And he freaks out on my grandma. She's like, I didn't know. She didn't say anything. I'm like, I know you got to brush the shit out. So it's better than one dreadlock. So I'm okay with that.
So look,
But,
we're going to take a quick break. But when we come back, we're going to rearrange the seating so everybody can get in my shot. I want you to see how beautiful these sisters are of all hues. And when we come back, we're going to talk about mixed kid problems. Mm-hmm. But we're also going to talk about the wounded black people who seek to have mixed kids.
Oh.
God damn. Here we go, God damn it. The biracial show. Not biracial, biracial. We'll be back at 2.2, the voice of reason. Holla!
There we go.
Ladies and gentlemen, the voice of reason has returned. The ladies are in here. They are turned up. They want this conversation to really take another step backwards. Here we go. We got callers on the line. I want to know what kind of biracial mixed problems you had growing up. What are the effects of adoption on little black kids?
Yikes.
A black kid. Did y'all see Charlize Theron? She got a little African kids dressed like little. He's a boy, but he's in a dress. I don't know what's going on.
She's not little. She young thugged him.
She's young thugged him up.
Man.
I was gonna say, I don't know what, maybe where that child's from. So depending on the country, that might be appropriate, but I don't know more. I need to know more about that.
I don't know.
And we just said there's no such thing as gender
Really?
roles. So I guess she can, if we're trying to stick by that and not contradict ourselves.
Wait. There are gender
There are gender roles, but depending on where he came from, maybe that country is primarily Muslim.
No,
like
this
that.
dude had on
He really had like a ballerina dress on, though, right?
He had on some fucking...
Maybe he was just Jaden Smithing it up.
He had on some Pippi Longstocking type dress. It wasn't right. And I'm just saying, the way white people raise their children is fundamentally different than the way black people raise their children.
Absolutely.
And I'm saying, if you got this leave it to beaver kind of mentality as a black man, would that put you in a position to where you felt different than other black people? Right. And related more so to white people, almost to the point where you felt like white is right. Egad. Here we are right now. The show is going down. I'm going to ask Sarah.
Yes.
Really quickly. And I need to know this. I need to understand this.
Okay.
We talked about the beauty industry the last time.
Yeah.
And how the beauty industry is trying to white-matize sisters.
Absolutely.
Right? Mm-hmm. Do you think there's a fucking conspiracy, and I love the word conspiracy, just to keep motherfuckers off balance? Just believing different shit and coming out with new definitions for shit? Oh, you not black, you mixed.
Yeah.
Oh, you 50% black and 50%. You notice it's always 50% black and then 50% some other nationality. Mm-hmm. German, Scandinavian, Italian. Nigga, what is black?
Right.
Can it be 50% Ethiopian? Nigerian? Something, nigga, from Africa?
Completely.
Speak to that.
So, when I was about 14, I got scouted to model in New York City, which is one of the fashion capitals of the world. So I got to experience a lot of racism, and not just racism, but also colorism within the black community.
Wow.
And so, to your point, yes, it is, in my opinion, it is intentional to divide. I mean, it goes back to the Macedonian Empire, the conquer and the divide. You divide and then the divide and then conquer. You divide them up so that they don't realize who they really are, so that they don't congregate and really rise up against the people who are truly oppressing us. I remember when I was I might have been 15 or 16, I went on a casting for, I'm not going to name any names, but a top brand on Fifth Avenue in New York.
Them niggas.
Them. And we went to the casting, they lined us all up, all of the models, and they pointed to each one of the black models, anyone with a little bit of color, what you were saying, some melanin in them, told us to step forward and said, please go home, thank you for your time. Just left the white models up for debate. That was it. So it literally felt like an auction block, like the 1800s. So at that point, that's when I realized the industry that I was in. I left the casting. I was crying. My mom had driven me to all my castings. Thank you, Mom. Shout out to Mom.
Hey.
And
don't start crying.
No. I just had something in my throat. That's it.
I'll beat them all up, girl.
And my mom was just like, you know what? If you want to do this industry, you have to realize that you're going to be judged completely on the color of your skin, and the color of your skin is black, and you're black in America. So that's what you're up against.
Right. Miss Mixed. Whitney Tabor.
Mixed 2017 reigning champion. I am here, guys.
Talk to me about the reality and the experience of being a mixed chick. Like, do dudes really are they hawking you because you mixed? And
here we go. You guys ready for some funny shit?
Here we go.
Because it's just like being mixed, right? And my dad, like I said, I was raised by my white father and my Native American stepmother on a reservation. So there was no other black people. There's nobody else that looked like me. So there was no melanated people anywhere. So I had to represent for everybody. But then when I went off to college, that's when I realized, like, oh, we have beef. There's dark skin beef, light skin beef, even between my own sister, who is my own sister is probably Sarah's color, and me and her even had gone heads because I was an Oreo. You get
your little privileged light butt out of here.
Oh, we don't want to play with Whitney because her hair is straight. And I'm like, what the hell does that have to do with us playing basketball, bro? Like, can we just relax? But as far as it came to like dating and whatnot, it was really crazy to see the difference, because it would make me upset the way that men in general, it's not black men, I'm not going to put anybody in, it's just men in general would favor me because I was light-skinned. And I'm like, oh yeah, you crazy because you a light-skinned chick. Excuse me, I thought we were winning, but okay. Like, you know what I mean? I don't want to beef with anybody. Men definitely would assume things about me because I automatically was lighter skinned, and I
Come
just
on,
thought
you know
that
you're
shit,
sucking dick. Where's the white girl in you?
I'm like, yeah, bro, it ain't gonna work. It ain't gonna work. But I mean, and it was crazy. You know, one funny thing when it came to, you guys were talking about the beauty industrial complex. My hair is thinning, and I just found out like 3 days ago from my naturopath doctor. Shout out to them. That it's from my family. So
Right, it's hereditary.
So I've been going through these issues and trying to figure things out. And one of the things a few years back that I was weaved up, I was unbelievable. I'm just like, I needed to wear a weave because I was uncomfortable with what my hair, the change of it. Because I was a light-skinned girl, and these boys would walk around, and I'm sitting there, and I'm full weave, just like,
They assumed it was
They're
real.
banging on all these black girls about, I don't like no girl who wear a weave. And I'm sitting here like, what are you talking about, bro? They literally assumed because of my color of my skin that I had good hair. And I'm like, bruh, my hair is just as messed up as y'all's. It's just tied up under this weave.
And you bring up another great point. You can't bang on sisters for wearing weaves while at the same time.
Go. Hit him with it, Zoe.
Yes, please.
Fuck.
Yep.
Pursuing the high yellow good hair, quote unquote. Because there's niggas out there who will bang on a weave, but will fuck with a girl with quote unquote good hair and not say nothing. And that'll be one of the main reasons why
They wear a
fuck with
weave
her.
to look like the perpetuated look you chase after.
No, but you know, I like a girl who got good hair. What? And then you gonna bang on a sister for wearing a weave, but you like a sister with good hair. Nigga, do you not see the contradiction?
Yeah.
Right.
I like a nigga with good credit. What the hell? Where do we find those
Right.
at? Don't make me come for y'all.
Right. And what is good hair anyways?
So I speak on that,
Yeah.
and in the girls group that I did, I do like a whole section on good hair and actually break it down because in the black culture, like we have perpetuated it more than anyone. Like white and Asian people own most of the black hair industry that profits from us hating our own hair. So like that's just craziness. But a good portion of it is I actually show pictures of me with all the different hairstyles.
Oh, yeah.
And I do it with little girls. I'm talking like 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th grade girls. And I'll just ask them like to point out like which one do you like, which one looks better, which one's good. And it's never me full afro unless it's like a really proud little girl.
Right.
Or if it's like the Asian little girls or like other minority little girls. But the black girls will always point to like me either braided up or me when like I have never worn weave just because I don't know nothing about that life yet, but I'm getting there.
It's fun.
But no,
I do clip-ins and they would point and be like, Miss Shaw, that looks so good. Your hair looks so bomb right there. But then I'd ask, why?
Yeah.
Because for me, wearing fake hair is so much more maintenance than my natural hair. Once I really learned how to do my natural hair, like I literally this is just water. Like
I'm gonna say this right now, and maybe you guys can help me. I know Rachel Dolezal is white. I know she's white, and I know she's confused as fuck.
Right.
But I would argue that sisters are more confused than any woman on the planet Earth.
Right.
Because you'll see the sisters come out in drove and praise Michelle Obama for going natural, but talk horribly about Gabby
Douglas when she wore hair natural to win the Olympics. Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So the self-hate is so real. That's my experience. Like, you know, I say I grew up culturally white just because like my family raised me the only way they knew how, which was white. And, you know, it's particularly my white family.
Wait,
feels
how were you
uncomfortable
raised
with
white?
that.
I want you to tell me.
The difference
Give
is
me some white shit that happened.
Okay, first and foremost, mac and cheese is not made in the oven in my household.
Oh, shit.
Right. Okay,
No
simple
seasoning,
stuff.
no Lawry's.
Simple stuff like mac and cheese is not made in the oven. Like it's made like on the stove, right? So
It's supposed to have
that's
blood in
that.
it.
Right? Like or even spaghetti. My parents make the sauce separate. You put it on top of the noodles. Like black people, it's like all together, right?
Sure
like
is.
simple stuff like that. There are cultural differences, okay? There really are. Or even like how they talk to each other. Zoe and even Jeff, you guys have said it. Like, you know, you have a white mama because like I told my mom, like, Mom, you were ignorant about voting for Trump. Yeah, she did. And they're like, you talk to your mom like that? Because she's a white mom. Like, I have that relationship with her. Yeah, and she's definitely not a black mom. I would never say that to a black, even my mother-in-law, my soon-to-be ex-mother-in-law. Like, that would not pop, that same conversation. Because culturally, it's different. There's a context that's different. And even, that's why, I actually knew Philando Castile back. I'm from Minnesota, and so that's someone in my community, a school district that I work with. And so I was close to my heart. But also, anytime something like that happened, Freddie Gray and Jamal Clark, and I would just break down because I'm like, this is why I know I'm not ready to have a black son. My family's not ready to have a black son because I've always dated black men, but they grew up with certain conversations that their fathers had with them about when you get pulled over by the police and how you walk down the street. And even to the point, a lot of black men I know, especially ones from the South, small things like, if it's just me and a white lady getting on the elevator, I'm going to wait. She's just going to ride the elevator by herself. I'll wait for the next elevator. Like, I won't even be alone in the space with a white woman. And I'm like, I don't want my child to have these conversations. Like, these shouldn't even be things. These shouldn't be conversations that black people have with their children. And so I would just break down. I'm like, Mama, I'm not ready to have a brown baby. I'm just not. Like, this shouldn't be a thing, Mama.
So you know what's killing me right now? You highlighted something. Like, now it's like, fuck. Having a black kid is problematic.
Well, it just has a different context to it that I'm like, as someone who's socially conscious and love people and empathetic, I'm like, ugh. And it's all things I know my well-intentioned white mom who just thinks black skin is beautiful never thought about when she had me. She never thought about the fact that I would miss out on scholarships or be treated differently at college or kids would yell the N-word at me. She didn't think any of that. She just did what a lot of not well-conscious people do, which is like, brown is better. Like, brown is beautiful.
What happens to a biracial child who grows up with, say, like a pro-black, proud dad or mom?
Oh, shout out to Zora and Jonathan Rabb.
Right?
Beautiful, amazing kids.
Right?
That's what happens.
Right? And you find out the white woman's role in the perpetuation of racism. You find out about the white woman who lied on Emmett Till. How do you then turn around and look at your mama like, because the white woman, her and Jesus are sharing the same PR firm. She is protected above all women on planet Earth. She's a standard of beauty. And you can't say that there's a white woman somewhere, and I don't speak in absolutes, but goddamn, it's gotta be at least 6 of them living that don't benefit from white privilege. And if you're a biologically mixed child from an interracial union or an adopted black child in that union, and then you come into that knowledge, how do you then look at her knowing that she still participates, even if it's passively, from white privilege? God damn it. We got callers. Callers, you're on the air. What's your name and where you calling from? Welcome to the Voice of Reason. Speak on it.
Ronan from Indianapolis.
Ronan!
Oh, shit!
Yeah.
Ronan! Damn.
My nigga.
That's been like 97 years, bro. What's been up?
I'm good. Just this conversation has brought back a lot of memories because I've seen a lot of
somebody tried to give you tea while you was crying.
Damn.
Well,
Get out.
I mean, the thing is, I've had guys try to tell me, I guess, elevate light-skinned women for a reason, all for some ignorant reasons. And I learned early, like, melanin was melanin. It's just like if they were light-skinned or dark-skinned, it depends on not just how they're raised, but how they think, how they carry themselves. Because I see that confusion and insecurity is an industry.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
And like I've seen like with exes where they tried to live to this standard of beauty, which a lot of backwards dudes put on them, or backwards chicks. And some of them, when we came to the thing about reproduction, she couldn't have children because of fibroids.
Wow.
And it was a major issue, and I was like, so I understand. It's like, I want you to be your natural self. I don't want you to be, I guess, what the public tries to tell you. I want you to be you. And she had a very difficult time making that transition. And this whole transracial thing, I think it's like a convenient brand of escapism in many ways.
Say more. Go deeper.
Because I say like when society basically like Whitney put out there, like when society lets you know who you are, who they feel you are, there's a lot of people who buck under the pressure and like, well, this is what I really am. And this is the same thing you've been running from for a long time. So if you're going to be 100 with yourself and what you are, stand on it.
Wow. Yeah. It's hard, though. It's hard when that good job is right there. Shit. I might as well put this conch in my head.
Stupid.
But you have to ask yourself, are you really willing to pay the cost in the long term for such decision?
Right.
And most aren't.
What are your opinions on Rachel Dolezal?
Dolezal. That's how it is.
Dolezal.
That girl Dolezal was popping good.
Right? Like, because I heard that she's homeless right now. That's what I heard. I don't know how long that's going to last.
Yeah, it was on the news.
She's a white woman. She'll be saved. All she has to do is take off.
Amber Alert.
All she has to do is take off the blackface. She'll be saved. But give me your opinion.
In many ways, that's what it is. I mean, if they go back to what, I guess the provisions that are provided for them, then sure, she can go back and not be homeless. But, but it comes to, when I say let's say light-skinned black women, I don't think they have the luxury. In some ways, they have to conform to certain things or even set aside what they really are. And I guess, some people do it for convenience, but like I said, if you're going to keep it 100, take care of yourself and each other, then we could have, I guess, a fail-safe, for a situation like that. But outside of that, a lot of people are going to do what they got to do, I guess, to survive in a way.
Ronan.
Young Ronan.
Or young Ronan Martin.
Hey.
This is what we've come accustomed to. He comes in and drops hot monkey lava. We appreciate it, brother. We appreciate the call. Call us anytime, homeboy.
Much love, family.
Yes,
Ronan.
Sir. You know what? Can I?
Yes.
I'm hopping in. So look, the double Dutch bus.
Here she comes.
I'm hopping in.
Here she comes.
Well, what I was saying though is like when people, it's kind of reminds me of the Kardashian thing, right? When
are they? Listen.
Are we going? Because I'm gonna go there.
Go there.
I'm going there.
That's what I want. With
let's stop playing cute here, guys.
Yes.
Because let's be real, it's popular to be black, and it's always been popular to be black because we the flavor in the mac and cheese, we the Lowry seasoning salt, we all of that. So it's just like, realistically, if you really look at the Kardashians, a lot of their money has come from stealing, all of black culture, and it's cool to do so. But as soon as Pepsi comes up with some shit that's like, hey, this is hella racist, guess who's not trying to be on the ad? Kendall Jenner. She's going to straighten those little cornrows or boxer braids or whatever the hell they want to call it today. And now she back to being
white girl.
My dad is a Olympian and blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? Same with the baby. What's the little Kanye West, Northwest, Southwest, whatever we're doing here?
Southwest.
When Blue Ivy, whose both parents are black, by the way, just public service announcements for all you weirdos that think that Beyonce is mixed. She is not. She is full black.
Right.
She is black as night. Well, not as black as night, but she black. She's not mixed.
She's as black as dusk.
Right. She like about 7 o'clock in Santa Monica. She that dark. But when Blue Ivy, right, rocking the same natural hair that every little black girl, including little mixed girls, because guess what? I had a mini fro until I looked like the 7th Jackson 5 or whatever. Anyway, when Blue Ivy had her little natural hair, Beyonce, Jay-Z don't take care of their baby and she's nappy, and black women are the most attacked. They were attacking this little 2-year-old the most. Right?
A 2-year-old.
A 2-year-old. They're attacking this 2-year-old the most. Like, I can't believe they had her out there looking like that. Well,
somebody better CJ Walker that girl's head.
But then we turn around and look at Kim Kardashian's daughter, little Northwest.
Yeah.
Did the exact same thing. You can literally side-by-side comparison both of those little girls at 2 with their crazy little wild hair that no one can touch. And she's so cute. It's so this, it's so that.
That's because she got good hair.
But this also speaks to, like we were
what
saying
the hell's
before,
good hair,
like,
though?
But that's what I mean. Like, that's how poisoned the mind is in the community.
And I wanted to say, like, after working in the beauty industry, I see firsthand. I mean, the castings, come out and they say, we want a black girl with straight hair, or we want a black girl who's this complexion, and they'll make references. I mean, I was there. I printed out the casting. I saw that they would say, we want someone Tyra Banks' complexion, not Naomi Campbell. This is something that's happening behind the scenes. So then when you go outside and you see a billboard, your skin color might not be represented. And until maybe recently, after, you know, we have now the power of social media to now project our own images, which is a beautiful thing. And we're starting to see more of it, which I hope we see a lot more, because we got a lot of work to do. But up until that point, I mean, these images were put to us by mainstream media based on the European standards of beauty. I mean, if you really want to take it back to the Egyptian periods, they were chopping off the noses that were very much ethnic noses on the sphinxes.
Napoleon.
Exactly. So this really is not anything new. And so, yes, it is our responsibility as African Americans, Black, the Black diaspora, however you may consider yourself, if you got some melanin in you, yes, it's our responsibility to start reclaiming the culture that has been appropriated or has been stripped of us to think that it's beautiful. But it's also our responsibility to start making sure that our voices are heard and that we are represented in mainstream culture, so that our little girls can look up and see themselves like I didn't see myself, which is why I straightened my hair as a kid.
Whitney, then Tiffany.
Okay, I just want to chime in one more thing when it comes to like the black. I love the black girl magic thing, right?
Yes.
I'm really into the black girl magic thing until the black girls look at me and say, no, you can't be a part of the black
You're
girl
not
magic
magical.
because you're not black. And I'm like,
You're black girl magic apprentice.
Mixed magic?
You're-
I don't know.
you're an
You know what I'm
apprentice.
saying? So it's just
Mixed
like,
magic?
I'm mixed magic. You know, I mean, and it's just like, to me, that's like a flippity dippity. You know what I'm saying? That's a little flippity dippity. And it also, I feel like, is the exact same thing that the world has been doing to all of us. Because whether or not I'm half or whole, I am still black. So I love the, you know, black girl magic, and black girls are coming in melanin. You know, I saw a shirt that said, I'm mixed, black with black. I thought that was dope, but then I'm like, are they gonna let me buy it? Because I'm also mixed with white, and I'm very proud of that as well. So,
This is good.
That's
this is
what we're
good.
doing.
Tiffany?
So 2 points on that. So one is also, you know, years and years of modeling, pageantry, being in the industry and entertainment in general. I will say this, and all of that, and also being from the Midwest, I at least appreciate when it's going to be discriminatory and when there's going to be racism present. I actually appreciate covert. Like, or overt, like, discrimination. I'd rather you just be upfront. Like, if
Just
it's a
out.
casting and you looking for a dark skin or just a light skin, I'd rather you just say that.
We're not
and say
looking for
all of
niggas
us-
today.
No, really, like, I appreciate those, because if you're in entertainment, you know, you'll see, like, the rollouts and the little casting calls, and I rather you just say, like, we just want a dark skin day or we just want a light skin day, because they made the time from going to this cattle call of 1,000 girls, and you know you only wanted 3 colors.
They know you gonna show up because they know you dying to get in that motherfucker.
Right, but save my time if you know, because we, as models, you know, like, if you really just looking for a dark skin girl, that's all you looking for today. Like, or if you're just looking for a light skin with straight hair or a light skin with, like, I like it to be overt. And even that's what's difficult about being any minority in the Midwest specifically, is because it's very covert. You're not really sure, and that's when internally you're like, and it causes anxiety because it starts to make you think you're crazy. Like, did he just pull me over because I'm black, or maybe I really was doing something wrong? Rather you just be like, hey, N-word, blah 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 blah, because at least I know what I'm working with. But on that flip side, with what Winnie was saying, being mixed specifically, I always talk about the third consciousness. I find myself like, why do all the black kids sit at the same table at the lunch table? That book, you tend to find other mixed kids, and I talk about the third consciousness. You kind of develop this third consciousness of how you operate, being your mixedness. Like, yes, I'm black and I'm proud, but I'm also equally proud of the fact I'm not going to discount what my mom did, which is white, my white culture. Mm-hmm. But there's this other third consciousness of like who I am wholly together, and always operating within those two worlds. And so that's what's fun to have conversations with other mixed kids, because they get it, like, oh yeah, like that third eye, like that space. Because yeah, sometimes you're not black enough and you're never going to be just white. So like, where's that space in between? And
that's so
interesting.
fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Like that dynamic of, first off, we as black people need as much organization and as much cooperation, collaboration as we can possibly stand right now. But to be in a position to turn away other black people because they're mixed they're genetically mixed. Right. To me, it's kind of crazy because we know, like, that's a black person.
Right.
Like, at the end of the day, Whitney's black and Tiffany is black.
Yes.
And as black men, okay, we got these discriminations or whatever, but we'll fuck you.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
But do you understand what I'm saying? We're not turning that mixed pussy away.
No, I would actually say they want it more because in their head, because of the oppression and how they think of white women, like to a lot of men, my experience, I
might get a good-headed baby girl out of this shit.
That, they're like, oh, I'm going to get that good hair maybe. But also in their head, tying back to one of the previous shows we had, they really tend towards mixed girls because I think my experience is they've even expressed it, directly or indirectly. They think it's best of both worlds. Like, I still get the great crazy that comes with black women and that I'm a black man loving black women, so don't hate on me, but then I still get all of those things I love about white women.
Do you see the two extremes?
But I'm like, wait.
Do you see the two extremes?
Crazy.
You got one extreme where it's, you're not black enough. Then you got the other extreme is, you way too African looking for me.
Mm-hmm.
God, we some fucked up people.
Yes. The self-hate is so real.
No, well, and one thing, and ladies on the panel, this is a question for y'all because I have experiences because I'm an equal opportunist when it comes to the dudes that I'm talking to or whatever. I mean, Filipino, Asian, I'm all over there. White boy, Asian boy, Spanish boy, whatever. I'm with it. Do you get offended when you get with somebody who is not black and then they say something like, man, I always just wanted to hook up with a black chick.
She's so exotic. I know that's a peach down
there.
Yeah.
Man, I heard that it's so much better with a black chick. And I'm just like, can you just, like, every chick I've met has a vagina.
It's kind of like chocolate milk's better than white milk.
It's like,
I'm sure of it.
Oh, man, I'm like crossing something off your bucket list. I'm like, excuse me, my nigga? Like, sorry, my white nigga? Like, who are you talking to? Like, this is crazy.
Nigga, my women. Callers. You want to answer Whitney's question?
Please answer my question.
Please, caller. You're on the line. What's your name and where you calling from? Speak on it. Caller. Shalom. Okay, bye. Assalamu alaikum. Caller, you're on the line. What's your name and where you calling from? Okay.
Oh,
they've been waiting.
No, okay.
They've been waiting.
He was definitely.
He was mad. I'm sorry.
I was gonna say.
Well, listen, we're gonna take a quick break and then we'll come back and we're coming into the final leg of this show. This show is moving really, really fast. I want to double back and talk about transracial. It just sounds dirty.
What is that? We gonna find out.
It's the new shit. It's the biracial show.
Transracial.
That's what
the
she's
skin
calling it.
I'm in doesn't fit how I feel inside. Is it possible to be a little Italian girl inside of a Gabrielle Sidibe? Precious. Is there a little Italian girl inside of Precious?
Is this a real thing that's happening in the world right now?
Yes.
No.
Rachel Dolezal calls it.
That's what she's calling
transracial. We'll be back in 2.2
She's just trying
to deal with
it. No.
Yeah, you a goddamn pro.
Hey.
That's how you do it, man. Welcome back to The Voice of Reason. This is Zoe Williams. We're having a riveting discussion on biracial. Motherfuckers lying, trying to be another race that they're not. White people love and hate black people, but not just black people. They love and hate all melaninated cultures, right? Doing movies, and they'll put on makeup and make themselves black. Yul Brynner played the Pharaoh of Egypt.
No.
Moses was played by Charleston Heston.
Oh my gosh. You know what pissed me off and I wasn't even old enough to be mad? Cleopatra was, what's her name? Liz Taylor?
The
whitest lady
She's
in
like
history.
Snow White in this bitch.
Right.
Porcelain.
So again, they don't mind cultural appropriation. I remember Seattle. Here we go.
Turn up.
I remember Sir Mix-a-Lot.
Baby Got Back.
Baby Got Back. There's white girls at the top of the song talking shit about fat asses.
Oh, I got.
But then Vanity Fair has the nerve to credit Kim Kardashian for fat asses and fucking, was it Vogue or some shit? Vogue, and she brought cornrows in. It's like, cornrows are on the walls in temples all over the world of indigenous people. And race is such a problem. It doesn't just affect white and black people. It affects Latin people. I mean, because Latin, you don't speak Latin.
Right.
Well, I'm Spanish. Are you from Spain?
Right.
Well, no. Well,
most
what
Spanish-speaking people don't like Spanish people
right,
anyways
so
because they're the conquerors.
What
right.
language did you speak before the Spanish got here? Then you got Spanish people who have been conquered who identify with the Spaniards.
Right.
Because that's considered better than who they were before the Spaniards got there.
Mm-hmm.
Then you have to say, well, wait a minute. The Spaniards were ruled by black people for 700-800 years.
Yes.
Did you know that? Oh, and then you got the nerve to not like black people.
The Moors?
Okay, shit.
Yes, the Moors were
Do you
the
see what I'm
business.
saying? So
Yes.
it's like this whole, and I think it's constructed just to keep people separate ideologically, culturally, because it's almost like race is the new Tower of Babel.
Yes.
You know, sometimes I'm just so fucking brilliant. Somebody call us 323-230-4610. But it is. That is the real thing that's confounding people.
Mm-hmm.
And then you layer class over that.
Oh, geez.
Then you throw sexism over that. And then even ageism.
Mm-hmm.
Get your black, old woman, female. They just throw light-skinned ass out of here. And this is how we see the world. And this is how we through these filters, through these layers. There's 3 beautiful women in here right now. I want to know everybody's opinion, honestly. If Rachel was here, how would you embrace her? Tiffany?
Oh, I wish I said I could say I would, but like really the social worker in me, my only question would be, why aren't you happy with yourself? That's my question for her, because our culture has already told her it's okay to do all of the things she's doing without making it such a fuss. We've already told white women it's okay to go tanning and perm your hair and wear our clothes and speak like us and listen to our music. So why are you so unhappy with yourself that you've made it your professional, the way you make money to have these conversations go out of your way to make appropriating black culture such a thing? Why? Why are you uncomfortable with yourself? What is really at the root of you wanting to be so quote unquote black?
You guys are so fucking cool.
The thing that makes me so irritated is, writing a book and working on myself and being, biracial and all of that. Like my number one
Being
thing I
black?
told people
Okay, cool.
is
I
realized I was black, and what blackness meant is when I realized it wasn't a definition, it just is who I am. Like everything that she has done to quote unquote say she's black and to transition are all stereotypical things we tend to try to educate black people out of overemphasizing. Her hair and her skin, and like that's not what makes you black. So what else is going on with you? That's what I would ask her.
But like the caller said earlier, she is advocating for black shit.
To a point. To when it benefits her to talk about it.
Yeah, she might be doing it for a benefit, but if she pushing shit through, getting it done.
My issue, if she came in, I would ask her something a little bit similar, but a little bit more directed towards the work that she's done and how that's had an impression on her. Because if you did so much work in the community, why don't you see that this is insulting to black women and black people and people of a melanin or black diaspora? That's my question for her. How did you miss the point? How did you miss that by playing the fence, by acknowledging that you did have white privilege growing up, and now that you choose to be a black woman, and as we were saying earlier, that she sued Howard for discrimination against her being white, how do you not see that this is insulting and very disrespectful to the black diaspora? That would be my question to her.
Or if she actually contributed, if her work with the chapter she did in the NAACP was so great, where were her counterparts to advocate for her and saying it's not that bad because this is what she accomplished? I haven't heard that in the conversation.
They were probably the black people, the real black people that if they did speak up, they're about to get blacklisted, if you know what I'm saying.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, there wasn't what she maybe accomplished didn't outshine the outrage that people felt in what she did.
Right. Well, she did. Well, wasn't she asked to step down, and that's why she resigned. So I mean, there was outrage coming from within her community. Right. I just don't think they were. Yeah, I just don't think they were public about it.
Man, for me, if she was in here, I'd be like, listen, come here, girl. Come have a seat. I would ask her for the plug because she a white girl, but she want to be black. I'm going to let you be black around me, bitch. But I need to hook up. I need to get in. I need some plugs. Who the plug? You the plug? Because you got white privilege. I'm trying to use your white privilege. I only have half white privilege, so I'm just trying to, you know.
Or the whole life.
I'm trying to get, cuts at Chipotle or whatever else you guys get cool shit. I'm trying to do that, so.
Wow.
Right. If she was a bit smarter, then she would have used her white privilege for the advantage of black people. I mean, because that's standing in your truth. And then you can slide into situations and then maybe try to educate someone who might be on the defense if it's coming from a black person. That's how I would have taken it.
Again, there was tons of white people in like SNCC, like the Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee. Like half of that whole movement was like white college kids who was like, I got a summer off. Like there's tons of white people who have helped black people. And so you can do that without saying I'm black.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
That's some bullshit.
Yeah. Exactly.
Especially because even the whitest acting nigga will never be accepted as white to white people.
Again, my brother listens to Slipknot and Korn and does the mosh pits and snowboards and all of that stuff, but he's still the one black person on the ski slope. He's still the one black dude in the mosh pit. You're still gonna be the one drop rule. No matter how
and they
you
see
act,
you as
they
one,
see you.
One fucking chocolate chip in here.
This whole cookie got one chocolate chip. This is bullshit.
Mind you, that would make me upset, right?
Right?
Nah, man, this is crazy. So, I'm also interested in this because women, I mean, I heard you guys, I hear you, but I don't believe you. Because women, y'all motherfuckers are a gang.
God. Hold on. Yeah.
Y'all are a gang.
So watch what you saying, Zoe.
And all I'm saying is, if Rachel came in here, I think y'all would be more like,
oh, hey, girl.
Yeah, come on in here, let's talk type shit.
No.
If a man seen Rachel, like if Corey Holcomb ran into Rachel.
Oh, no.
Listen.
Get your,
yeah.
It would be terrible. But what I'm saying is, sometimes you guys circle the wagon around fucked up women just because they're women.
Well, that's how she got to where she was, right? She didn't just wake up one day as the president of the NAACP. They have votes and stuff, and you have to, depending on how big the chapter is, it's a campaign and all of that stuff. So at some point, someone did just that. I call it, fuckery, or, someone, they did that. They rallied around, oh, well, maybe she is black. I don't know. Who asked her? She checked black on the form, Wow. So I talk about that, when I was younger, I really got mad about the check boxes. Where the fuck the mixed kid box at? Can I check both boxes? It sounds like I can only check one, but I'm two. So I used to fuck up all the surveys.
I used to mess them up
check
too.
out all the boxes. I don't give a fuck about none of these boxes. I'm gonna check whatever box I want today. Some days I'm Asian. Some days
You've checked the Asian box?
When I was younger, I did. Now I probably am black and white. Fuck with that. But figure it out, sense.
But that's what I want to ask you guys. Don't you think identifying as biracial confounds the shit even further? Because first and foremost, black is not a nationality. So it doesn't represent a landmass somewhere.
Right.
So it's kind of what the fuck is black? Okay, well, African American. Well, what the fuck is that? Mm-hmm. Do you understand? Black people of African descent who live in America? There's nothing to kind of identify with. So there's complexity around calling yourself black. Number one.
Right.
Number two, when you look at the legacy of white in America and what white in America stands for, number one, blacks are not really fully human. Number two, they disrespected the Asian people that were here, internment camps, put the motherfuckers on the chain gang, building trains and shit. And then the Native American,
Trail of Tears, just eliminating a whole race of people.
Just constant killing, fucking maiming, and then 2017, I want to identify as black without having the conversation of what it actually means to be black. And not just being black aesthetically, but being black actually. Would you like to do that? Would you like our struggle? Would you like our class denotation?
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like, we got all this virtual reality and whatnot. Let's do it. If you want to sit here, Rachel Dolezal, give us a call here at Dash Radio, Voice of Reason. We're keeping it lit. I'm saying let's get one of those little Samsung virtual reality and sit your ass down through years. Even me being I was born in 86. My dad tells me stories. My mom tells me stories. I have been through stories of struggles of just being half black in America. So it's just like, for me personally, and Zoe, you kind of started to bring up a point about, and I wanted to ask all of you guys a question, is being a woman, because I think what Zoe said is real. What Zoe said is real. Like, we're all gonna sit here and be like,
y'all should bang on her.
You ain't blah, blah, blah. We're not gonna do that. We're gonna be like, hey girl.
That's
and
what
then
I'm
be
saying.
like, you know what I mean? So it's like, it is what it is.
What
But
makeup do you use to get light skin? That's what y'all gonna be doing.
No.
But my thing is the woman's struggle. This is a question for everybody. Everybody listening, for Zoe, everybody. Is the woman's struggle and the strife that women have had to deal with being a woman worse than being a black person in America? Being a woman or being black?
Shit, being a black woman is the double negative on
just
that.
saying. I know, nigga. I'm just asking y'all, because she is a woman and she made it through all these loops and hoops and whoop-de-whoop pretending to be a black woman. I'm like, okay, good job, white girl. You did all right.
She worked for somebody.
She did something strange?
No, that's my belief.
Yeah. Oh, like someone instrumentally insert her in the system to divide. That conspiracy word.
That's my belief.
Yes.
Because how do you just get fame? Like Sarah Palin and just
popped out of nowhere.
Just pop out of nowhere. Nobody knew you was white. And nobody connected your ass from Howard University as a white person suing them to a black president of the NAACP. What happened in the middle, in the missing years?
That's
We
what
need
I'm
the
saying.
Jesus years. Where was Jesus from age 13 to 33? We need the missing
Right.
years.
They're like, he was just kind of.
You just
no,
pop
we don't
up
with
know.
the people, right?
Right.
He was just a carpenter, like from 3 to 32. Like, anyways, but I love Jesus.
No, I mean, I really, so I have like a little side comment that's just a story. So I've worked my ass off as a black woman in a male-dominated, 90% male-dominated industry, which is the music industry. I worked my way for 7 years, minimum wage, and now I manage one of the biggest recording studios in the country.
Baller.
Okay.
Hey.
So I interviewed this kid last week. And I had my braids and twists and whoop-de-whoop. I sat him down. I asked him a couple questions. And he then turns around and asks me, well, how did you get, da-da-da-da? And I was like, oh, excuse me, sir, because I'm asking the damn questions here because I'm the boss now.
Oh, shit.
I didn't do that. But I probably should have, because as I'm explaining to him what I have gone through to get to where I am, he does what's on Zoe's shirt, puts his hand up and does a fist in the middle of me telling him, and I'm like, what the fuck?
Like,
what
Black
the
Pride,
heck?
the struggle is
Am I
real,
being
like-
punked? Hold on. I had to stop for a second. I'm like, this is an interview, and this is a job that you need. I don't need. Throws up the power to the people fist, I think he was a Latin kid. And then after I finished with him, after I like held back every like cuss word I know, which is a lot, then he says, you know what, I just think it's so, to like add insult, you feel me? He says, you know what, I just think it's so cool to, see women actually like in a position of, this, that, and the other. And I'm like, I think you're trying to kiss my ass because you're not getting this job now, but I didn't know what was more insulting, you plower to the people, black fist me, or also then turn around and say, oh, it's really cool that you're a girl and you actually can do something. Like, it that's what made me want to ask you guys that conversation, which was like, what is harder? Because I'm a biracial butterfly. Thank you very much. And we get it all. So, shit is crazy.
Like I said, for black women, it's doubly tough. I mean, you're a woman, and yes, men, this is a man's world. James Brown.
Yeah, I don't know if I can separate my experience to look at both, because I am a black woman. So if something happens to me that I feel it was wrong, for some sort of discrimination. I don't know if I can attribute that to me being black or attribute that to me being a woman. Now, I will say that amongst our community, when I know it's just black people, I mean, there's colorism, of course, but when it comes to the racism aspect, then that wouldn't be as prevalent. So I'd say, yeah, I've definitely experienced that sexism amongst my community. But as, within any community, I don't know if it's because I'm black or because I'm a woman.
Or both.
Or both.
Shit. Y'all got it bad.
Right.
No
I mean, we got it bad, but we also have a lot of great things. I mean, right now, I checked online. They're selling melanin for $350.
Wait, you can buy that?
Yes.
What
They're
do
putting
you
it
mean?
in cosmetics. They're putting it in facial creams. They're selling it in sunscreens. All of that. It is worth a lot of money.
That's why people get kidnapped? Is that what's happening?
Basically.
How do we get the melanin out? Like, what are you talking about?
I mean, I'm about to Google that later, but I know it was a thing because, like vitamin D and, all of that and getting tan. So I knew it was a thing. I didn't realize they were selling it by like the CCs.
Well, they're not selling it to people like on the market.
No, like cosmetic companies and like collagen putting in beauty products.
There is an annual melanin conference.
Yes.
What?
Where they're trying to understand and study and listen.
It's real.
White people know who the devil is.
Man.
Let me tell you, there's a reason why they made hell fire. Because the sun is fire. They know.
Well, I've been on my Erykah Badu shit, so you already know. And there's a line that I used to sing when I was 15 a million different times, but I didn't realize it until literally like last week. I'm like, God dang, that's what she's talking about. And she says, most intellects do not believe in God, but they fear us just the same.
Yeah.
Like I'm like, yo, do you guys not hear what she's telling you? Like, they're scared of this. You know what I mean? You talked about it, how the Scandinavians or whatever were the defect. You feel me? Like, they're scared. Shout out to Scandinavia. You guys just lit up there.
Stop.
I mean,
let's just fucking
y'all
quit.
Go buy some melanin and get it popping. But I'm just saying.
Yes.
I know a guy. So I'm just like,
well, and even
crazy.
like historically speaking, like racism, well, basically discriminating based on melanin in general it's historical. It goes back, far, but specifically in regards to Europeans and why would I check white and black on a form in regards to I honor just my identity and acknowledging that I was made from the conquered and the conqueror. That's how I see it. Like my mom represents like European white, like conquered everything. And then like, my sperm donor, the black like represents the conquered. Right. And so to fully embrace who I am, I check both to be like, well, this is how I was made. And that's the beauty in that. A lot of people can't take pride in that. And so that's why I check two boxes. I'm like, well, fuck it. This is who I am. Yeah. You want to know who my boxes are? These are my boxes. But I mean, in Mexico is when I really studied Mexico. I've studied in Mexico. I, did race and gender studies and social work studies in Mexico. And they do not actually even acknowledge the presence of Africans in Mexico, even although they're part of the transatlantic slave trade. The whole Boca Chica, there's like a whole colony of Afro-Mexicans, but Mexico is so racist that they don't even acknowledge Black or Afro-Mexican on the passport form or like their census. Like, so that's like, you just can't be that brown. African people didn't come here, but even though those areas that are like settled now, African mestizos, Afro-mestizos, the reason they brought Africans there is because when the Europeans came to settle and try to do sugarcane and whatever, all their diseases killed off the indigenous people, and they were physically smaller and not as strong. They brought Africans literally because genetically, like physically, we were stronger. Physically, we were bigger. We could carry more. We could work longer hours, and we were immune more naturally to all of the disgusting diseases they brought. Ugh. So I see that, like, not to say, but yes to say, that like melanated people are more superior genetically speaking, and there's so many studies to show it that they will not let them publish. Like, why? Because if we as a people, just the Pan-African diaspora, realize like how powerful we were, we could unite and really do something, but they're like, we're going to divide you so you can't conquer us back. Because they worked like 3,000 years to conquer the shit out of us.
And that's crazy. Like I said, when you talk about the Native American, like we've been pimped to believe that the Native American is the aboriginal person on this landmass, and everybody knows, like, come on, those motherfuckers is mixed too. With what? Now, when you start doing the research, you find out. You go down, first off, to South America, you got the Olmecs. Mm-hmm. And you see them big-ass stone heads. You don't see Mexicans who look like that today. That was straight African faces, period. So we already know that's considered, the Olmecs in the Levanta area. I think it's Belize now, right?
Yeah, Belize.
Right? It used to be British Honduras. It's Belize now. Right? You go down there and you look in that area. Man, that they started that whole, they call it the mother culture. So that started African. You go Asia. We already know the first African footprint, first African man to step foot in South India was 75,000 years ago. They got the DNA markers still walking around in the Indian people today. Okay, we already talked about the Asian guy who was like, nah, fuck the out of Africa, theory for the evolution of mankind. We're going to prove that he came from the Peking man. China, it evolved independently. Oh, well, you proved that you motherfuckers is from pygmies. You're going to find that all over the world. Then there's some new research that basically said all non-Homo sapiens, right?
What the hell?
I was like, non-Homo sapien.
I don't even know.
In other words, everybody in Africa is a Homo sapien. Anybody mixed with anything else has part Neanderthal in their genes.
Oh, wow.
Africans on the continent, Homo sapien, true Homo sapien,
yeah,
period. Wow. Then, while you lying in the books, making the maps all warped and fucked up,
right?
We're gonna make Africa small as fuck, even though it's bigger than all this shit.
Right.
While you lying about everything, you have the audacity to put on a t-shirt saying, and I've seen these atheists and all these guys, all these intellects, they'll be like, we're out of Africa. So you want to claim, you saw the movie Lucy.
Yes.
Right?
Oh my goodness.
What's the old girl's name? What's the actress?
Scarlett Johansson.
Yes.
Right. You guys want to go all the way back to Australopithecus, Lucy? 2 million years old. You want to go back there?
Right.
And then there were no Africans. There were no Africans in the movie, really. Like,
no, there wasn't.
Except for Morgan Freeman.
He's God, so in every movie. So go ahead.
I'm just like confused. Like, they don't mind just co-opting everything and then shitting on it at the same time just to keep you off the trail.
That's what's so confusing to me. Well, not confusing. It's brilliant for them because it's working, right? But it's confusing that this has now happened for, like I said, thousands of years, and we still haven't gotten privy to it.
Y'all better teach your kids.
Even with access to information and the internet and just videos, like we still can't figure it out.
Where did you get that from? Because it's not validated until white academia validates it.
Right.
See, that's part of the fuck bag they put you in.
All these things that aren't approved by the FDA, but we're like, they work, and your FDA
We've been
drugs
telling you
kill us
shea
more.
butter is the cure for so many things.
Shea butter.
Is shea butter the win?
Can we cook with it? Okay, caller, you're on the line. What's your name and where you calling from?
Hey, what up, man?
Hustle. What up,
Hustle?
Hey, I know I'm kind of late, man. I just got in the house, but
we in here chopping it up.
Yeah, I'm listening to the conversation. It sounds like a lot of confusion to me. I mean, the way I see it is, if we don't even know who we are, how are we going to tell somebody else what they're not?
Wow.
True.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, even with the whole conquer and conquer thing, I mean, you're lucky Kev ain't in the room, because he would have really broke it down about the history of our people and really how we used to run things. But it seems to me, I would more so call it the robbed and the beneficiaries, if you want to look at it.
Oh, true. I agree. Yes, absolutely.
Say more, Hustle.
Yeah, I don't like it when we almost lower ourselves in a way just to kind of, it's almost to make ourselves feel better about the position that we're in. Because if you know you're strong, it's almost like if you know you're strong, but then you lose a race, you're like, damn, I must really suck. But if you say like I'm kind of slow anyway, so it's okay that I'm kind of in the position I'm in, then I don't know. That's just the way I'm kind of seeing it. You know what I mean?
Right.
I can't go along with that mentality. I feel like really get grounded in your strengths, so that way, not only can you teach others, but you could use it to benefit yourself.
Wow. I could smoke all types of bags
dope.
of that. Good looking homeboy. Always good to have you chime in.
Yes, hustle. I ain't heard that one in a minute.
Well, now that we know what we gonna show, what you gonna do about it? When are you still gonna watch? What is it? The Kardashians? Are you still gonna support? I mean, I guess you guys have to support those makeup companies because who makes makeup for you guys?
Well, I have a friend who's starting her own makeup line for that reason. There's just one, if you know any of the major makeup lines, although they've gotten on this trend of now trying to have darker colors, it's still like 4 dark colors compared to the 82 white colors. Like, how many whitenesses are there? I don't know. The diaspora of blackness is way more vast than any diaspora of whiteness I've ever seen. So if you go into a cosmetic store and you see it, you'll roll your eyes. If you would just take a moment, look at it. It's ridiculous. So I definitely support like Zoe Black business and specifically Black cosmetic lines. One of them is my friend Nika. She has her own line, and specifically for that reason, because even the Black makeup that's made out there is still mostly made by white producers.
I'm about
just
to fuck all
putting
y'all
blackness in it
I
like a
got
drop.
some too.
I'm like, I need someone to genetically understand the differences in skin from white women to Black women and make a makeup that is for my skin.
I'm about to fuck you up.
Go ahead, Zoe.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Go.
Yeah, for me, I do struggle with, allegiances because at the end of the day, we are all one human race, period. And if we do want to come out of that, there are certain ways, and I'm still learning myself, but I believe there are certain ways to embrace other cultures by still identifying with your own. So I'm not going to say I'm not going to buy white makeup. I'm more against capitalism and like denouncing that whole system as opposed to whether it's white, Black, Asian, Hispanic. You know what I mean? Because I don't really mind supporting businesses that aren't Black per se. You know what I mean? But at the same time, I do see the importance of making sure that I support people of my own kind.
Really?
Well, quote unquote, the people that represent
Really quickly,
who I am.
Whitney, get it in real quick because I got one more thing. I'm trying to squeeze it in.
Okay. Well, I mean, go, bro.
Okay.
I don't even know. Yeah.
Right now,
We're all over the place. I don't know if we're closing shop. Are we not closing shop?
We close. I'm just trying to
Okay,
squeeze
go
one more
do
in.
that, and then I'll come through.
Let me squeeze it in.
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
Okay. Is Tina Marie transracial? I had to fuck y'all up with that.
You know what? Honestly, the only thing I really know about Tina Marie is her incredible voice.
Tina Marie was a white woman.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if Tina Marie came out and said, "Nigga, I'm transracial," all niggas would have had to stop.
They'd be like, actually,
that might be true.
Makes sense. Yeah.
Was Tina Marie transracial?
Well, that'd be like saying it's Justin Timberlake transracial.
No,
then. Not
it's
to the same comparison, but I'm just saying like
no, it's not even close. Tina Marie is not even close.
Let me just say, like, there's markers and indicators that we're all using to make that definition, and so, well, she has.
Oh, I'm about to text.
All
I'm about
of
to
these
tweet this out.
wonderful indicators. The will we accept it versus is it still what it is still valid.
Absolutely.
How we accept it, because again, what society, going back to what Whitney said about you are what society sees you as, we're more likely to accept her as that because of the indicators that we like, that we accept as our racial indicators versus what someone else has put on us, right? So I think we would accept her more, but I'm like, but if we take that, then we have to take Rachel and we have to take everybody else.
No, we don't.
We have to remain
That's
consistent.
what I'm worried about, consistency.
Yeah.
No, we don't.
We can take her, and I would kind of be like, well,
honorary.
okay,
She could be like honorary Black, but to consider her a black woman, no. For me, no.
And that's where I'm like, I would like it just to be consistent. Like, what are the indicators that we are taking to make
They got to get a vote in. It's like we voted
the black delegation.
And that's the consistency. Like, well, Tina
Marie.
Okay.
My thing is,
then what about everybody
That fucked
else?
y'all up, didn't
So
it?
yeah, one thing. I mean, look, I'm shutting it down because I gotta get it popping. So one thing I was gonna say when it comes to that is, I grew up with my white father, who I also think is a Tina Marie type-esque white person, which I'm like, you might have been black in a previous life, bro, because like I don't understand it. Like my dad's mac and cheese and fried chicken is lit. Like I'm like, hello, and he's as
I feel like a
redneck as
down
it
white
gets.
person. Like, you
so
really
is that
with the
racist
system.
white lady down south who called people niggas. What was her name?
But her mashed
Holiday.
But her mashed potatoes is lit. So hey, it is what it is. Universal language, food. I'm with it. But I'm really easily swayed. No, but what I was saying is just, in my opinion, like Hustle was saying, is us black people, African American people, whatever you want to, signify yourself as, we were kidnapped. We don't know where we don't know where our homes are. We don't know nothing. So realistically, take pride in every single piece of you and do that. You are the best. My white father would tell me straight up in a whole 60-mile radius, I'm the only black person. He said, you are a Tabor, damn it. It don't matter what color you are, you're the shit. So that's my thing, and how black people can overcome this bullshit and being mad at people I love that people want to be like us, because guess what, bitch? We popping over here, and I already been known. So that's my final thought.
So listen, we got to wrap it up. Oh, man, all I do is win on Twitter. At @the_Hollywood says Tina Marie was the very first one, along with Michael McDonald, Daryl Hall, and John B.
Oh, John B. Hey, we lit.
But even as black as she was, she never claimed to be black. So we're done there.
Yes, love yourself.
Yay. This was a great show. I appreciate everybody for coming out, chiming in. Really quickly, where can people find you? Let's do it in 30 seconds. Whitney?
What's good, guys? You can find me here on Dash Radio on about 3 different shows. Saturday, 12 to 1, Hot Button, The Plug Radio. Follow me on Instagram, Snapchat, at Miss Tabor. That's MSTABER. And, I'm popping in everywhere. Also, my new show, it's called Afternoon Hype Wednesdays, Dash Radio on the Loud channel. Love y'all. Peace. And, hair grease, whatever.
Hey, this is Sarah Wesley. You can find me on truthdig.com. I host a show every Thursday at 1 p.m. on Truthdig's Facebook. Check me out.
Nice. Tiffany
Shaw, also known as Shaw Talk TV, because I'm Shaw Talk T everywhere. So Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, all of that good stuff. You can find me. And most importantly, if you like what you hear, I life coach, relationship coach, and pageant coach. So I can help you in everything.
Awesome. Hey, thank you so much. We'll be back Friday with another episode of The Voice of Reason. Appreciate everybody for coming out, calling in, chiming in. Great topic. We're going to chop it up, put it on YouTube. You'll see it shortly. Thanks again. See you Friday, 5 to 7 p.m.